Hello guys, Incon here with another support build. We're looking at my personal favorite support. I mean, like, if I could play any support, any game, ask my team members, they're all going to tell you every game all I want to play is Wukong. Why? Because he's incredibly fun to play. We look at, first of all, he has one of the best skins in the game. Let's just know that Dark Lord Sun Wukong is one of the best skins in the game. Also, I now use the TSM Sun Wukong skin though because I support esports. You should support esports too. So, getting into our builder here, you have two options at the start for Sun Wukong. Watcher's Gift, because Watcher's Gift is incredibly strong and gives you a lot of gold and a lot of sustain. Or the item that I like to go right now, Bluestone Pendant. Bluestone Pendant on Warrior supports is incredibly strong. You're getting just as much mana sustain as you would from Watcher's Gift, so that's cool. You get more physical power. You get pretty much the same health. You're just not going to get quite as much gold. But the extra physical power will help you bully a bit in lane, especially against Guardians that can't go an item like Bluestone Pendant. They have to go Watcher's Gift. So that's my preferred start. When you go to your first item, it's probably going to be boots. You're looking at either Warrior Tabi if you want to be aggressive, or if you want to go more supporty, you're looking at Talaria boots. So Talaria boots did get nerfed. For those who don't know, they used to give 50 XP when you used to hit them as well. Now it doesn't give the XP anymore. It's still a strong item. You get a lot of gold. It's particularly good on Sun Wukong because you can just cudgel people and hit them with your jingle jangle, and then you get the gold, so there's no risk at all. You just smack him with the cudgel, and he's actually one of the better gods to get Talaria boots on. Core build, of course, you're looking at Sovereignty as your first major item because of the health physical protections. If you don't go Sovereignty, there is another option on warrior supports, and that's Hide of the Urchin. Hide of the Urchin, a lot of physical magical protections. You get good health. You actually get the same amount of, you get 50 more health than you get from Sov, and you get pretty much the same amount of protections. You actually get more if you once you get fully stacked, a little bit less at the start. The only thing with Hide of the Urchin is it's hard to get into because of the cost of the second item. So if we look at Hide, 1585 for Armored Cloak. If you go into the second item of Sovereignty, which is somewhere or another, it's 1400. Okay, so 1400. The difference is, it's like 150 gold difference, 185 gold difference. It can be hard to get to that tier 2, and the tier 1 sucks, right? 10 physical magical protections compared to the tier 1 over here, which is 20 physical, 100 health. That's way better. If you can get this to tier 2 though, it's actually one of the best tier 2 items in the game. 30 of each protection, 125 mana health is awesome. It can just be hard to build into, but think about trying to get Hide of the Urchin into your builds. And of course, Heartwood Amulet, because it's incredibly cheap for what it provides. Ton of health, ton of protections, MP5, everything you want. Always get it on every support no matter what. Not first though, because you don't need magical protections first. As far as other items later in the game, you look situationally. Deathbringer actually works really well on a late game Sun Wukong strictly because of your passive. More if you're not playing support, but even then, like, it's the Soul Reaver of Sun Wukong support, if you will. How like Bacchus will get Soul Reaver as a last item or something. What you should really be looking at though is your Midgardian Males and your Spirit Robes. Midgardian Male and Spirit Robe, two of the better items in the game that are completely underrated because you don't like just throw them into a build like right away. You usually kind of like have to think about getting them in your build. It can't just be like an every game kind of thing, but do think about putting them in your rotation. Wrath of the God, Shell, Weakening Curse, typical actives here, nothing different. All actives across the board for supports are the same. Reminder, if you're getting Watcher's Gift or Bluestone Pendant, it doesn't matter. Do not get mana potions at the start of the game. Get health and multi-potions. You can have them on at the same time. You get the double health regen, so it's 1.5, because this gives 250, this gives 125, so you have 1.5 health regen. Comparatively, right? It's not 2 times, so you have 2 of these, whatever. It's really strong for fighting early. It's really strong for sustain. You're going to have the mana anyway. Don't get the mana potions. Get the multi-potions. Looking at Sun Wukong's abilities, he has a really awesome passive, actually. Not the best. It's almost a better passive for like a jungle solo, but it's still a strong passive. When you're below 35% health, you gain crit chance and protections, plus additional crit chance and protections per level. So the later the game goes, the more crit chance and protections you have. That's why he actually works really well with Deathbringer, because if you get low and you have the Deathbringer crit plus your max crit from this or whatever, you actually have a really high crit chance, and you can crit, like if you're on their ADC in the backline, you can hit them really hard and actually kill them if they're already fairly low. So, what's the first skill you got to level up on Sun Wukong? You're leveling up Magic Cudgel. This recently got buffed. It was 5% extra damage to minions and jungles. Yeah, it's a buff. It's 5% damage. It's better than not bonus 5% damage, but like it didn't make or break Sun Wukong. Same thing with this 2 is 2 got buffed. It's an extra 10 damage at every rank. Yeah, 10 damage is cool, but it's also not 20 damage, but it's also better than 0 extra damage. So you get this skill at level 1. It's your poke. It's fairly strong lane clear. You want to get this to level 2 by the mid harpies, because if you only have it at level 1, I don't believe it does enough damage for you to just use the cudgel and then hog. I think you have to do at least 90 damage to the harpies. So get this to level 2 before the mid harpies so you can cudgel the harpies and then instantly hog them to get credit for them, okay? The skill you got to get at level 2, typically 72 transformations. This skill has a lot of stuff. It has your bird, which is your giveaway. More importantly, it has your tiger and your ox. Your ox is what you use in team fights. You knock up 2, 3, 4 people. That's a lot of CC. And if you're ganking one person, you use your tiger stun. It does 1 second stun starting at level 1, and it does a ton of damage as you rank it up to 380 damage plus 80% scaling. That's a ton of damage. It nukes throughout the entire game. It's one of my favorite skills. I like to rank up 72 transformations to max first. You get, like I said, the second point in Magic Cudgel, so you can get the mid-harpies. But after that, I put my points into 72 transformations. If you're not comfortable with that, put it into Magic Cudgel. It's super safe. You get a lot of poke. You get a lot of lane clear. I like to do 72 transformations for the gank potential. If you smack somebody with the level 4 transformations at 310 damage, plus your bluestone, plus your boots they have, you're hitting them for like 400 damage. And that's like half their health. That's why I like to do it. I like to play aggressive with it. Master's Will, like I said, this recently got buffed. 10 whole damage, woohoo. But it's a slow, it's a good slow, it's an area around you, it does decent damage max rank. You pretty much get it up last. If you're going to rank up 72 transformations first, I like to get Master's Will ranked up second to max and then Magic Cudgel last. But you can also go Magic Cudgel first, then 72 transformations, then Master's Will, or Cudgel, Master's Will, 72 transformations. There's a lot of variety with Wukong. It depends on your playstyle. The only thing I wouldn't recommend is I would not recommend leveling up Master's Will first on a support Wukong. That's actually more of a solo lane strategy that you can kind of do, but I'm not about that solo lane life. Your ultimate, honestly, the best disengage ultimate in the game in terms of for yourself. It takes like 2 seconds to channel. You go up in the air. You heal yourself for a lot. You make a decoy, the decoy does damage. You slam back down after the duration, it does damage. You can go back in and fight people because you healed for half your health. Very strong skill. People use it way too early because they get way too nervous. Don't use it too early, but you also don't want to do the whole Kali ult like, oh, I was trying to wait to use my ult and then I didn't get my ult off and now I died without using my ult. So it takes, you have to, practice with it because you don't want to use it early, late, just like Kali ult. That's how you should be thinking about it. So, why would you pick Sun Wukong over a different support? So, Sun Wukong has an incredibly strong lane clear right now. Magic Cudgel does very strong lane clear. He has very strong presence in the lane. If you clear the lane really fast, which you're going to with Sun Wukong, and then use 72 transformations Tiger Stun their ADC, plus then your ADC hits his skill shots on them, they're going to be at half health no matter what. They have to pop their health potion. They're building Heartseeker now instead of Devo Gloves. They don't have any sustain. So you're popping a Magic Cudgel on them on cooldown all the time. You got plenty of mana because you have Bluestone Pendant. You're going to put a lot of harass on the lane, and your early game presence is intense. Early, mid-game Sun Wukong is where he thrives. Late game, he drops off a little bit. But he doesn't drop off super hard. You're still really annoying. You sit in their backline, you block auto attacks, you get really tanky, you use your ultimate, you come back in the fight, you have lots of knockups, whatever. You're really strong. You don't want to pick Sun Wukong if your team doesn't have any initiation. So this is the biggest mistake with Sun Wukong. People have Sun Wukong on their team. Sun Wukong's biggest downfall is he has no initiation, right? You don't have a Geb Blink ultimate cataclysm. You have 72 transformations, which is a mid-team fight, Ox knock up people, okay? If you have a Wukong in your team, you need another initiator elsewhere. Put Sobek in the solo lane. Put an Athena in the jungle. Put a Ymir in the jungle. Put an Odin in the jungle. Put an initiator somewhere else because you can't initiate on Sun Wukong. If you have got an Isis in the mid lane, that's practically an initiator. If you have a Freya in the jungle, Whoop is practically initiation. You have a Freya ADC, still works. You got initiation. You just need something to start the fight so you can have a target and do stuff. That's the one thing Sun Wukong cannot do. As far as people you want to go against in lane, the less sustain they have, the better. That way your magic cudgel is super effective, alright? So you don't really want to go against Neith because she's going to heal up your harass damage, and your harass damage didn't mean anything. You're looking to go against Rama. Rama's a great target. Anybody without sustain. Almost everybody except Neith, right? You don't want to go against Neith. One, because she's completely broken right now, and we can talk about maybe that in a later video, But anyway, you don't want to go against sustain. Sylvanas is your least favorite support to go against as Sun Wukong because he's Sylvanas and he's OP. He's actually not that OP anymore, but he's still super strong. But like I said, heals, takes away your magic cudgel. That's what you're looking to not go against. Everybody else is fair game. Geb is fair game. Everything is fair game except for heals. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the build. Thanks for watching the video. This video should put us over 1 million views on YouTube, which is super awesome, guys. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for watching my Twitch. If you like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a twitching day, y'all.